This story takes place in a remote village near the border of Thailand. There was a young man named Kla. Kla was a quiet man, deeply and obsessively in love with Dao, the most beautiful woman in the village. But his love was hopeless. Dao was already engaged and set to be married in just a few months. Disappointment turned into hatred. Kla could not bear the thought of her belonging to someone else. Blinded by jealousy, he walked deep into the jungle to find an old necromancer known for his dark arts. "I want her," Kla demanded, "no matter the cost." The old sorcerer chuckled darkly and handed him a tiny glass vial. Inside was a murky yellow liquid that smelled of death. It was nam man prai, corpse oil extracted from the chin of a pregnant woman who died with her unborn child. "Just one drop," the sorcerer warned. "Flick it onto her skin, and she will love you until the day she dies. But remember, you must feed the spirit inside this bottle. Do not let her go hungry, or she will feast on you instead." That evening, Kla waited for Dao by the river. As she walked past, he secretly flicked a drop of the oil onto her shoulder. Dao stopped, turned to look at him with empty, glassy eyes, and then walked away without a word. That very night, as Kla lay in bed waiting, he heard a knock. Knock, knock, knock. He opened the door and couldn't believe his eyes. Dao was standing there, pale and trembling. She walked straight into his arms, whispering how much she loved him, like a woman possessed. Kla was ecstatic. He finally had the woman of his dreams. That night, Dao stayed with him. Blinded by his lust and happiness, Kla forgot the sorcerer's warning. He forgot to make an offering to the spirit. 3 days passed, and Kla's dream turned into a nightmare. Dao began to change. She wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep. She just sat there, staring at Kla with unblinking eyes all day and all night. In the middle of the night, Kla heard strange chewing sounds coming from the kitchen. He peeked inside and saw Dao crouching in the dark, tearing into a piece of raw pork, blood dripping down her chin. But the most terrifying part was the smell. Dao's body began to reek of rotting flesh. Her skin turned ice cold, and bruises began to appear all over her body, purple and green spots like a corpse. One night, Kla awoke feeling a heavy weight on his chest. He opened his eyes and screamed in terror. Straddling him was not Dao, but the rotting corpse of a pregnant woman. Maggots crawled out of her empty eye sockets as she stared down at him. The spirit from the oil was starving. Since Kla didn't feed it, it possessed Dao's body, and now it was going to eat Kla's soul instead. "You called me here," the ghost hissed. "Now you belong to me." The next morning, villagers found Kla dead in his bed, his body shriveled and dry, as if all the blood had been sucked out of him. Beside him sat Dao, confused and crying, remembering nothing of the past 3 days. This story teaches us a brutal lesson. Love is a gift, not something to be taken by force. When you try to control nature with black magic, you pay the price with your life. The law of karma is absolute.